Okay, this is my audience.
Hi.
Okay, my name is Brianna Raggio, and I'm doing an informative speech today on pregnancy. And this is my PowerPoint, which is going to be part of my visual aid. Okay, some people plan a pregnancy while others have an unexpected pregnancy. Does anybody know what a pregnancy is? If not, I'm going to tell you. A pregnancy is basically whenever the semen enters into the vaginal canal and it comes in contact with the lady's egg. And once the semen and egg comes in contact, it's then fertilizing. That's how conception occurs. Some people, when they think they're pregnant, they have early symptoms such as being extremely tired. Their breasts become tender. They have to urine more frequent. Some women even experience bloating, and while some become pregnant, they might even have some spotting, while others don't. And the biggest symptom is that you miss the cycle. So, whenever you're pregnant, there's some things that you shouldn't do, which is mainly you should abstain from any illegal drugs. You shouldn't drink. You can exercise, but you need to watch it because exercise is good for a lady while they're pregnant, but too much exercise could mess with the pregnancy. You need to limit your seafood intake because of the mercury that's in seafood. It's not good for the fetus. And some people who like to sleep on their back, they're going to have to limit that because they say while you sleep on your back, it makes it hard for the baby to breathe. So limit your sleep intake on your back. Pregnancy is into 3 trimesters. The first trimester consists of weeks 0 to 12. During this time, you get your first ultrasound. The ultrasound will detect how far along you are, how many fetuses is exactly inside of you. It will, the first trimester, it just gives you basically your basic information. Whenever the fetus is 4 weeks old, you can see this little sac. That's what the fetus is in. It's really the size of a peanut. It has facial features begin to form, although you can't really tell what they are. You just know what it is. The sex glands are a little present, but just because they're there, you can't determine what the sex of the baby is just yet because it's too early. The fetus has a heartbeat at 8 weeks, and you can tell that the embryo is formed. At the end of the 8 weeks, everything the mom does is very, very important, and she should be very cautious of what she decides to do. This slide is just telling you basically what happens from weeks 9 to 20. And some good information on this is that at 14 weeks, eye movements is able to be made with the fetus. And at 20 weeks, the mother then begins to feel something called quickening, which kind of feels like butterflies, and it's kind of sort of like, little kicks. And so by 13 weeks and 26 weeks, you're in your second trimester. The baby's skin is covered in something called a vernix cassosa. I can't really say the word. It's a cassosa, and it keeps the fetus from being cut, chafed, and hardened. And the second ultrasound is then done in the second trimester, and you get to find out what kind of baby you have. If it's going to be a boy or a girl. And at 24 weeks, the baby now has fingernails, and the lungs are performing much better. At this time, the fetus weighs approximately about 1.5 pounds and is 13 inches long. And at 26 weeks, the eyes can open all on their own. If a mother is to go into labor at this time, the baby is likely to survive. So that's a plus, even though it might just be premature and have to be in the hospital a little longer than a baby that was born at full term. Now, third trimester starts in 27 weeks to 40 weeks. 40 weeks is the end of the whole process. At 30 weeks, the baby then has smooth pink skin, and it can possibly weigh 3 pounds and be 14 to 15 inches long. At this time, the mother gets to have another ultrasound to see just how well her baby is growing. And at this time, if there's any complications, the doctor can figure this out. So, and then at 32 weeks, fingernails have reached the fingertips. And at the 37 week, the baby, that's when the mother and the baby both begin to pick up their weight. The baby gains at least half a pound a week. And everything is formed. You can see the diaphragm, the cervix is beginning to open up more. And by the due date is getting closer and closer, and the mother is preparing for the baby to come out into the world. So, yeah. And sometimes mothers can go past 40 weeks, and if they do, that's good, but, you know, most mothers want their babies out of there by 40 weeks. But that is called, if they do go into the 41st week, it is considered a post-date. So, some interesting facts about pregnancy. The best part about being pregnant is that you get to eat whatever you want. Well, not whatever you want, but you don't care about getting too fat because you know you need to feed yourself and you need to feed your baby. And while being pregnant, women get milk is formed in their breast, so whenever their baby is born, they can breastfeed. And being breastfed, that helps the baby out tremendously. It gives them the extra nutrients and vitamins that they need, and it helps really good in the end. And even not just kicking, the mama can even feel when the baby hiccups inside of her. So I think that's pretty cool too. So yeah, pregnancy is a pretty good thing, and you know, you learn a lot. Your body changes, but it's a good change. And whenever you do have a pregnancy, it's best to follow all your doctor's orders and make sure you do everything right. And there's two types of delivery. You can have the baby vaginal, or some people have to end up having a C-section because of the simple fact that either the baby's not turned right, or you know, it's just safer to do that. So that's my presentation on pregnancy, and I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you.